That was the part right there for singers, that last little harmony bit, you know what I mean? I always ask, is this appropriate, Dorikas? Because if my grandmother was here, she would wrap me up. Is this leg?
Kendall
is this
approves.
Too much?
Kendall approves. Kendall approves.
Okay.
And I second that emotion.
I second that emotion.
Second time's a charm.
Okay, we'll be posted up. Thank you, baby. So, I want to shout out to all of the Black females who own their own boutiques. Number one always calls me O's because she takes good care of me. And I think, what's the name of this boutique, D? We got to get better. This is ridiculous. And I be depending on Dorikas, y'all. But you know what? Shouts out to Dorikas. Because this joker... Uh-oh, did I go out? I think I went out. Okay. He runs a salon, takes care of many, and always comes over here and takes good care of me. And my husband, and doing this, and shouts out to Shine Nice, because we're not making money from doing this. We just do it because we want to be a blessing to the people. So thank you for taking time out of your day and away from your queen and your son. And D, thank you.
Making it a vibe.
Yeah, I mean. But we got to do better with the boutiques because we have these meetings and then we forget when we start recording. And then I had some great earrings from Brianna. I think it's Doll Me Up Baby. And then I forgot. God, I'll find the name in a minute. But she's got some dope jewelry, y'all. So
No doubt.
I just want to shout out when I can all of the, small businesses who are trying to do their thing right now in COVID and support as much as I can.
Small business with a big vision.
Yeah.
That's how we cook.
Sean Nice, though. We didn't even tell you to play that song, and I was thinking it.
Oh, yeah. He was like, what's the topic? I know he's going to take it from there. He's like, what's the topic?
You just made my whole night. Living single.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody like, what do y'all mean? How y'all going to talk about living single?
Well, we broke up last week, so I'm just playing. Nah, we took it from a listener.
Yeah.
I had her name.
It was Smell Like a Lady or something?
Smell Like a Lady. What a name.
Yeah.
Which is funny because Dallas always tells me he places a woman, like, he says she's a queen because you're clean. That's his way of saying you're a queen. It's weird. He's like, because you're clean. Women are clean.
I don't want no dirty butts.
But when I asked him today, I said, so what are you? He said, I'm dirty.
Hold on, son.
But
yeah. But one time before we cooked, though, like, you know what I mean? Them polka dots, girl. I'm glad I ain't got. Huh? Mm-mm. Connect the dots.
Not tonight.
La, la, la.
Not tonight.
Yes. She look good, y'all. All right, so let's help them understand what we mean by living single and what we feel like we could bring to the situation. Yeah. So, we have a duty regarding this platform to ensure that we not only remain true and authentic to the core of who we are as individuals, but as a couple, but also to remain mindful of the surprising depth and increasing variety of the audience that we've been blessed to fellowship with each week. So while we will always celebrate the power and eternal purpose that rests inside of a righteous union, we cannot overlook the incredible number of singles that tune in who also seek truths and wisdoms tailored to their desires that they can incorporate into their daily walks. So tonight, we invite each and every one of you to take a trip with us down memory lane as we retrace our footsteps that lead us back to our seasons of singleness when we too were sitting silently hoping to find our soulmate at the right dispensation of time. Yes. Let's talk about it.
So are we going back a little bit before we got to that place to kind of show the stuff that we need to like?
Let's cook.
Okay.
My question to you. What was your outlook and approach towards life when you were living single?
So, okay, I'm a Cancer. So most of the Cancers who are watching, we are very hopeless romantics. We fantasize about love, what things would look like, blah, 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 which gets us in a lot of trouble because every person you meet, you feel like that's probably the one for you. So you go like full, you go like hard.
Say that's bae.
That's bae. What she say? That's bae. Well, as soon as you meet him, girl, I'm with bae. I'll call you right back. but it's the truth. I'm gonna be very honest. Like, I would go in, like, I was always in relationships. And they were all the wrong relationships, but it's because I wanted that love and that fantasy of like hopeless romantic and what love was supposed to look like. I was always trying to be in committed relationships instead of just dating. You know what I mean? Right. And having a good time. I put myself in relationships. And I was young. I'm loyal. Cancers, we don't cheat. We're very loyal. But as soon as you do something dirty to us, I was young. Then that is when I go on the, okay.
Let me show you something.
Okay. Right. Yes. But for me, I was always in somewhat of like not a long term, but it was at least like a couple months to a year, and really trying to be booed up, married,
So the one thing I didn't understand about singleness, and I ain't gonna answer mine yet, was some people like serial daters, and they date to date to date to date, and you kind of frown upon that. Mm-hmm. But as long as you're not bed hopping, I'm of the mind now that I can look back and say it's not necessarily a bad thing, though it may be taboo.
Yeah.
Because in meeting different men or women, you're simultaneously learning more about yourself in a variety of different situations and atmospheres.
Yeah.
So if you don't give yourself the opportunity to sow your oats without sowing the sheets, you kind of miss out on the opportunity on, a path of self-discovery that can help you more fine-tune what you want, what you don't want, as you're also crystallizing your own personal identity.
Pretty much.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree now. Because I was like, nah, you need to be in a relationship. But you're so young, man. Like,
you don't know nothing about nothing.
You don't really know nothing about nothing. But I just wanted to say one thing before we move forward. Because it's like heavy on me.
Let it go.
I apologize. Oh, man. I do. Earlier today, I do. Shut up, Doriquez. I do. I apologize. It's marriage. Earlier today, we went through some little business thing, and I felt like something was inappropriate, and I got upset about it. But I think I took that energy out on you. And I apologize. I'm ready for war. But it happened. And I knew it was going to happen. I'm sorry.
I received that with 2 hands and both feet in bounds.
You didn't do the
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
Let's
do it.
Yeah, that's all right.
I know. I got a cramp.
Yeah. But I apologize. I hope you can receive that. So now we can move on. Because I think my energy was like towards you. But it really wasn't your fault. But I was just like, huh?
Yeah. And on that part, I was solid. Yeah. But I was just saying, don't never let as best possible any third party thing cause you to not
it wasn't
towards
you
character.
But it was just a thing that I felt like we had just did the ready for war and we had just talked about being what
that it was gonna happen.
That
it was gonna happen.
And so when it happened, I was just kind of like, huh? And then I was being a comedian the whole time, like I hadn't tapped out. You didn't notice that? Okay, let's move on. Right. So you forgive me?
Then
give me some sugar.
Now my lips ain't that big. But if I touch something I'm allergic to, I might be able to come over there and reach.
But
I respect that. I love you for that.
Thank you for that.
Straight like that.
I apologize. Right. Okay. So yeah, back on that. Like that was me. I feel like I should have been dating more and not trying to jump in serious relationships.
Okay, I respect that. On my end, and I know a lot of men gonna be like, come on, bruh. I was only focused on trying to overcome my past and my background, my felonies, and put my life back together. So any woman that met me, unfortunately, caught me in a season of process. And I say that to say this. A lot of women will hold on to a brother and cling for dear life because they see the potential. But that potential could be juice that hadn't been squeezed. And so many women got hurt being with me because they saw the potential that I'm walking in now, but they caught me at a timing of my processing, and that's never good. And I think women need to be aware of looking past the potential and starting to really define what season or in what level of proximity is he in his potential versus just saying he's got potential. You want to be there for the finishing product, but you're going to end up part of his process.
Okay.
And that's what my singleness looked like. So I only got to paint that picture, let you know that I was processing.
Right.
So as I began to realize, okay, I don't like that. That's not who I am. You got to go.
Ooh, the funny part is I didn't start realizing what you just said about who I was until I met you. Like, or before, like, that whole fasting period. Like, I never sat back. And I think that goes to women, too. You got to sometimes sit back and figure out, are you at that place? that you were in.
Be honest.
Pretty much.
You can want it, but still respect the fact I know I'm not ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's hard to do. Yeah. Because when you want something when you want what you want, you're not thinking about that. You're not thinking about that stuff, and that's why. Again, I'm promoting the book that I've been reading because it's helping me, and I'm not just saying this on camera. What do I tell you?
Every day you hitting me with something like, yo, this book is tripping me out.
It tripping me out because it's allowed me to see that there's a lot of things that I've got to continue to work on, even being married. But I started on that before I met him, because if I would have met him in the place that I was in, I would have just ran you away.
Ditto, or we just would have had a head-on collision because I wasn't about nothing.
Yeah, it would have never worked. Yeah. So I think we gotta hit that place first, and then we'll get there. What you got next? Because I got some good stuff I want to say.
So this made me think of something. I didn't even have this built out, but why do we struggle meeting good people? And I like that she does this. I like her personality. I like her structure. I like that she's driven, but why can't we just accept that maybe we're supposed to be friends or partners, or we can collaborate in some dope way? Why is it that as soon as you see something that you see these qualities in a person,
that's mainly women.
You want to own? Nah, brothers do it too. It's
really?
Like what Tupac used to call, you're a sucker for love.
Yeah, but would you not agree? Because I'm the only woman in the house. Jesus, even down to Leo, I'm the only woman in the house. Would you not agree that men do not show that as quick as women do?
Not as quick. Because we know like once we love you, you need to be ready. Yeah, you need to have your whole destiny in order, like, you know what I mean? Because we're not taught how to deal with our emotions. So when we tap into something that's like a high almost, we overdose because we don't know, and we shell away from emotions and sensitivity and all of that good stuff that y'all adore.
See, but women, we don't do that.
Yeah, y'all stay ready.
As what? Soon as you walk through the door, we checking out your outfit. Okay? We checking the way you walk. We looking at you too, like, oh God, he look good. How you smell when you sit down? How you? I'm for real. We checking out how you doing your hands when you talk. Da 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 da. And then the first thing we start thinking is, dang, he might be the one.
That's that picket fence right there.
God, right? Then you be like, oh, I would name my little boy Kenny Jr. Then I would name my little girl. Da, da, da. Like we be like way out there.
But you mean tell you what you dealing with on the other side that y'all don't even know about?
Please.
We ain't looked at nothing but your frame. I challenge frame.
Her body.
I did a challenge with my dudes one day. We was riding we was riding through the city. It was summertime, girls in shorts.
You went with me, right?
I definitely went.
Okay, good.
Anything I talk about, I went with you. And even if I was with you, I want to take that back to trial.
I'm about to take your eyes
I want to take that back to trial.
Shout out to you, like your eyes coming out. Who was your friend? I'm going to tell his wife to take his eyes. I'm just like.
No, but I'm saying I challenged my dudes. I said, and I don't know what hit me that day, but I was like, yo, we ain't nothing. I said, we're going to drive from here to the other side of town, and I challenge you, when you see a girl walking down the street, look at her head, and by the time we pass her, don't take your eyes off her head. No, what we do is we look at the body and determine if we want to look and see what her face look like. That's no cap. So while y'all on the end looking at his hands, his smile, his cologne, all we looking about is the name on the back of them jeans. Now, I've grown out of that, but I'm just keeping it G, because some women don't know that you assume that he's looking for those same qualities in you. He may not be until he matures within himself to be able to look a woman in her eyes instead of her thighs.
Well, okay. So I think that's just the nature of a man. Now, I feel like.
A boy. That's the nature of a boy.
So when you met me that night, you saw all that goodness, honey. I was slim.
I'm gonna tell you how I know I'm right. Because you remember I told you the other day, I didn't even know you was built the way you was built the first night. Right. I was like, when I saw you degrade with lot, I didn't even know that was you. So I went there to meet you. I went there to meet her, and
he thought he was looking at something.
This chick jumped out the pool, and I was like, yeah, can I get a refill? And it was her, so I was like, yo, let's talk about it. So I'm being honest. The night we met,
it's cool because the night we met, I thought you was short.
Yeah, you thought I was like 2-3 inches shorter than you.
I swear, it must have been.
That's what I call confidence.
I don't know if I was like on the Long Island iced teas or something. I can't even remember what I was drinking that night. But I thought he was short, and I remember telling somebody at the time that we was kicking, and I was like, "Yo, was he short?" He was like, "No, I don't think so." I was like, "Girl, no, he was short. And nothing wrong with, ain't nothing wrong, but I like to climb a mountain from time to time. So I was looking for a mountain. And I was like, girl, I can't ride with him. He's short. So when you showed up to the Great with Lodge, and then I saw you, you saw me, that night we wasn't looking at the appearance. We just got lost in the conversation.
After I saw you get out that pool, though, I'm going to be honest with
well,
myself.
I'm saying I saw you walk in, too. I remember what you had on.
Me too.
And I was like, good, great, Amada.
Me too.
God.
3 minutes later, we was like, yo, let's get married.
I want to thank you. I was telling everybody at the Great with Lodge, that's my boyfriend.
That's babe.
That's babe.
All right. Ooh. You know, because people know we don't play safe. So let's dive a little deeper. Give one example of a living single moment at its lowest in your life, and give another example of a living single moment at its height in your life. Let's talk about it.
Why you gotta? Can you answer that first?
Why not?
Please.
My lowest moment in my singleness would be the last time I got locked up. And I say that because, trust me, it's going somewhere. I say that because I lost everything.
Yeah.
I lost my cars, my condo, my money, everything that I thought defined me who I was. So in that moment, without the things that I thought validated me and substantiated me and were my identity, I felt very insecure.
Wow.
I was hiding behind labels and jewelry and big talk and big wise and money. I didn't know who I was outside of that person. Yeah. So I no longer felt like a good catch. I didn't feel like a good eligible batch. Like I went from feeling like I can conquer any conquest and so on and so forth, any notch in the belt, to feeling like I'm not even worth going up and speaking to somebody or trying to court a woman. That was the lowest point of my life. I lost everything that I thought defined me. Wow. And I had to enter to a place of truly being reborn. My highest point of my singleness was when I really had blocked everything out. I said, I'm not committing. You know where I was at.
Yeah.
And I closed my first $1 million contract. That was the point when I think I buried the man I used to be. And it wasn't about the money. It's that was the moment. Because when you're a felon, you know, I got 3 felonies. When you're a felon, you can get a job and you could be an assistant manager. You could be a supervisor. Yeah. But it doesn't matter how talented you are. You can never write the zeros to your own success. Yeah. That was the first time I felt like I'm in control of my life again, and it was nostalgic, and it in itself was an aphrodisiac to me that made me feel confident, that made me feel like I could lead Fantasia. You know what I'm saying? That was the highest point in my singleness, is when I really had blocked everybody out, and my mom used to tell me, she was like, why don't you just take 1 year and focus on yourself? Mm-hmm. Quit trying to carry other people. Focus on yourself. Mm-hmm. And when I did that, I evolved into the man that I'm rocking out with today. So that was my lowest and my highest as a single man.
Wow. I can't say that mine is too different from yours. I think that's why we rock together. Because my lowest was when I lost everything. All right, Sean Nice.
Sean Nice with the playback.
So why is Sean watching the live?
You got to make sure the sound good.
Sean, we just heard you live. Yeah, we heard it. Okay. I was
some more trouble.
But that was real talk, because I realized, remember I told you, I had been traveling the world on tour with Kanye West, and I never stayed home. I was always working, and I was working to make sure I took care of my family. Like, I'm from Hop On, North Carolina, small town girl, so I just wanted to make sure everybody was okay, but I was overworking myself while at the same time losing everything that I had. And I went to go order a pizza, and I couldn't. And I remember just laying in a room by myself, and I had nobody to hold, nobody to love on. So that was like the lowest point of my life, being single, because that was hard for me when you want to take care of everybody. You want to make sure they're all okay. And then the highest for me had to be when I told you I took that time out for myself when I did the Broadway After Midnight. I had never did anything like that ever in my life, and I was doing hot yoga every day, working out every day, like taking good care of myself, watching certain things. I was careful what I played. I was careful where I went. I was just careful, just making sure, because I'm very loving and emotional and fragile. And so I was like, in this point of my life, I just don't want nobody else to come in and put any more scars or any more cracks or breaks. Like I'm a vase that's barely hanging on here. So I've got to like really take care of myself. So you know what I mean? You get what I'm saying? Like it's like a broken vase that you put back together, but I'm together and I'm straight now. So when I started like working on myself, it was around that time before I met you.
Interesting. How our highs and lows kind of parallel, mirror each other.
That's why I fell in love with you. I was like, yo, he's
like, this is what we talked about the first night, not the first night we met, but the next day we connected at the Great Will Lodge. Like we just sat here and had these conversations, like what you been through, like what shapes you, like what big challenges in front of you.
No, that conversation came at my party. Remember after my party, we sat in the room and everybody else was downstairs partying, and me and you was just kicking in and talking.
I don't remember nothing but just laughing that night.
Oh, we did. You made me laugh. That was another thing. I remember
sitting on Bronze Floor and I figured out a way to make you laugh, and you died. And I was like, we ready to do that all night long. Same joke, different way. Straight up.
Yeah, plus, you know, it was my birthday. I had a couple of drinks. I was like, he is so funny.
She blocked everybody. It was a whole party going on downstairs, and we sitting up on my man's floor, hiding with a little old plate of food.
Because I wanted you to see me. I didn't want all of the glitz and all of the glamour and all of the stuff. You know, in that moment of being single, I was like, you know what? I'm going to go different with this one. And it wasn't that in my other relationships I was trying to show them all of that. That was just a part of my life. I think I was always trying to, you know. But that night I was just like, you know, I'm done people pleasing. I could be down there with them, and I know they're here for my birthday party, but I just feel like sitting right here and talking to him all night, and I'm going to do that. And it felt really, really good.
We ain't stopped. We still talking.
Yeah, we still talking.
You want to have some fun?
Yeah.
All right, so check.
Oh, Lord.
When you were single, and you didn't even know Kendall existed, what Mike Epps said, he said, he said, you meet that girl, he said, I can't talk to you because I got a bad chick waiting on me in the future, and she going to kill me if I talk to you, right? So, it's going to be fun. What were some of the immediate signs when a dude approached you that would either place him in one or two categories? Either he had the potential of being the main thing or a plaything.
I couldn't stand a good cornball.
Y'all are welcome. Good question.
Listen, so being a celebrity, you get a lot of guys that walk up to you to say all the wrong things. One, when he first walk up to you and be like, you fine and I know you Fantasia, but I ain't gonna sweat you. I'm like, bye.
You already over here.
Yeah, you wrong. One that talks entirely too much, and it's like about nonsense. You just rambling, and you haven't noticed that I have now took my eyes off you, and I'm now looking at the DJ and everybody else in the VIP. Dude, I'm disconnected. Please go. But the one that didn't say much, that was very light. Now he ain't too, you know what I mean? It's about a drink. Send a drink. The drink came over from the man over. Salute. He don't even come talk. He just be like, okay, he brought me a drink. Okay, he cute. I'm looking at him. He ain't dancing nobody. And I go over there and talk to him. He still ain't sweating me. Like, that's it for me. So I couldn't stand the guys that just had too much to say or come over and tell me that they wasn't gonna sweat me because I was Fantasia. I'm like, so how did you get over here again? Why did you come over here? It was always the quiet one for me that had swag, that had, you know, I was always looking for a boss. Cause I'm a boss. I can't stand no cornball.
You in that dress, boss. See, it ain't even really a dress. It's
not. I was finna say it's not a dress, babe.
It's like some scarpants. You got on some polka dot scarpants. Hey, my wife be like, "What'd you say?" I said, "Listen, I am a master of slanguage."
Yo, Kendall be saying some stuff. You stupid. Now I'm gonna see somebody be like, "I like your skirt pantsuit."
She was showing me something on Pinterest the other day. It was a salmon, right? She was like, but it had put all these lemons down and put the salmon on top of it. I said, "What? They put it on a lemon mattress?"
Yes, he told me yes for the salmon on the lemon mattress. I said, man, bump you. I don't even want to cook it now.
But I like the scarpants though. I'm digging those. You know what I mean?
Oh my God.
All right, for me.
I swear when I see somebody, I'm like, is
those
that
are scarpants. Oh, those scarpants you got on. I gotta start copywriting this stuff, man. Straight up, these are T-shirts flowing out of me. This is just merch flowing out of me.
Okay,
you know what I mean?
Go ahead with your crazy stuff.
All right, scarpants. You like it? Feel good, don't it?
Leave me alone.
Say scarpants.
And when you don't say that to your wife, do not be like, babe, is that a skirt? She was like,
You
what?
like, oh, you got on some skirt pants?
Babe, are those skirt pants? Quit playing. I'm gonna go get some skirt pants, night clothes.
Help you get in them, help you get out of them.
Yeah, let's go.
Call me Mr. Alterations. All right, so for me, I did not like loud women, and I don't mean like octave voice. I mean like sit down somewhere. I don't like. Forgive me. Didn't like. Yeah, I got you, girl. I didn't like women that was like real skanky dress, always looking for attention. Your tongue hanging out your mouth, or
God, let me put.
Oh no. You got it. I know that leg. I like class. I like leave it some to the imagination. Make me chase. Make me work. You know what I'm saying? If you come quicker than my money did, we got a problem. Didn't like women who smoke and drink more than I did. Like, who's the dude here? You know, where's my? You know, I like even though I was in the street. I tell you all the time. Say what you want. I can be who I am. I don't like strip clubs. I don't like that energy. I don't like that vibe. I like when I saw you come out the Great Wood, you had the little flowing thing on. I couldn't really see nothing, but I saw everything. Like that was fly to me. Like that made me feel like, well, shoot, then, you know, I don't want nobody walking around naked all the time. And what's my goal here? Like that chase of it. You know what I mean? That was my thing.
And I think a lot of women, especially in 2020, times have really, really changed.
It has reverse.
And I gotta be careful. I know, right? So my grandmother used to always tell us to save a little bit for the imagination, and she said it so much that even now, like if I get dressed, does Dorica's got a mic? No mic. Just in the room, what all am I asking? Like while I'm trying on this outfit,
is it too short? Is it too much cleavage?
Is it too much? Yes.
Is it that? Is it that?
Yeah. And then I asked. Don't I ask what I asked you, Kendall, when I called you out the room? What I say?
Yeah, and I'm like, yo, you look good. Like.
And then who I asked last though? Who did I just go ask last?
Who, Dallas?
I asked Dallas.
Dallas don't play.
Oh,
Dallas will tell her quick, like, what's this you got on? And
don't let me come outside in a bathing suit.
He ain't trying to see it.
Let me tell you. So I walked outside. His friends was here. It was a bathing suit. But I get it.
That bathing suit was fighting for dear life.
Kendall. Listen,
R.I.P.
I'm a thick woman. But, you know, I'm like, we at the bathing, you know, it's a little, you know, nothing too much. And Dallas looked at me and said, I said, what? He said, where is the one where it covers up everything? And guess what I did? Because my son had his friends over. I went and put on the other, and sometimes I be like, well, son, it's a bathing suit. He was like,
go Dallas.
But I asked him, and so I was getting somewhere with it. I wanted to just say, like, because that bell rings all the time, that voice rings all the time in my head. My grandmother, save a little bit for the imagination. I do feel like men like a chase, and men will court you until and if we do it a certain way in that courting, where when the big reveal comes, it's almost like I gotta have you. I've put time into you. I've took you on dates. I walked you to the park. I tried to figure out, and every time I went, you showed me something, but it didn't give me all of you.
Right.
And so now that you're my wife and I have all of you, it's it becomes something different. If you just show up on the first date and you got your booty shorts on, he got it. Yes, he can. Excuse me. He can mentally.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Mentally, I got that. Mentally, I can go home. But if he's got to put the puzzle together and figure out how it goes and figure out how to do things with it, it just makes a man want to chase you more. So I will say this, and I tell my girl that. My little girl's so little itty bitty, and she feel like she can put on. I'll be like, no. Save a little bit for the imagination, because that comes a first date, then a second date, then a third date, because he wants to now get to know you, and it's not just about sex and your body. It's about mentally your conversation, the stuff you talking about. You know what I mean? Oh, I just realized me and her got stuff in common, family wise, business wise. That I think I want to take her out again. Okay, we went out tonight. Now she had on a little skirt, bro, but it was like right above her knees, so I got to see her little legs and her little sandals, and you know what I mean? She was, you know what I mean? I think that the men love the chase. Make them chase. Make them wait. Make them figure it out. Don't just give it to them on the first date. I had to learn that. I was telling you about my candlelight days. You remember I was telling you?
Mm-hmm.
Me and Toy Doos
Candlelight.
up in the candlelight. Big Joe, was up in there. I was like, yes, give it to him. But I kept getting the same results. I kept getting the same stuff. And I was wondering, like, what is it? Other than now getting older and realizing that what my grandma was saying wasn't corny. She was actually, like, telling us that my grandmother was always put together well.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's just something I want to carry out, the legacy. I want to carry that out, make sure that I keep, even though I'm married and I got you, I still don't want to show you everything. I'm your wife, but I want to make you chase. Come get this.
You better.
Oh, God.
You better
Lord,
why I got these good knees. You better why I got these good knees.
Babe, I know your whole.
After that, it's
going
to be an orthopedic kind of love.
No.
I'm talking about the white shoe with the thick bottoms look like wallabies.
The devil is alive.
You like, nah, them nursing shoes, boy. Them is not wallabies. Yeah, you know what I mean? Them is straight up nursing home shoes, bro. Get out of here. Get out of here. You and your girl.
You got a long way to go before you get to that.
Facts.
And I'm going to keep you in the flyest nursing shoes ever.
You better. To match my cane and my teeth. So, but for real, like, take it from a dude. I'm married now, but certain men master the ability to womanize. I'm telling you. They know if you don't have a good relationship with your dad. They know if you don't have your finances in order. They know if you're in rocky conditions. They know if you have dependencies and addictions. That we know these things. When a good man is going to do everything to help build you up, but a conniving snake is going to take every single weakness that you have, and he's gonna manipulate it and exploit it for his own lustful gain. So if you want a man that stands out, stop trying to fit in. And if you're going fishing, you measure the bait you use with the fish you're trying to catch. You can't catch a shark with what you catch a catfish with. This may work over here on this side of town. It may not work with this dude who really is going to college and trying to put his life together. If that's what you want, because some women like thug dudes who, you know, they like what they want. But approach it with some level of strategy and methodology to it, saying, this is the kind of lifestyle I want. This is the kind of man I want to fit into it. So this is the type of bait that I need to use. If you out there using stinky bait, you're going to get a stinky dude.
Let me ask you this, though. Sometimes my question is, do people really know what they want or what they need? Because you could be so busy talking about what you want, and that's not what God wants for you.
I don't even think they spend time confirming what they don't want.
What do you mean?
And that's why they keep ending up in it. How do I keep ending up with these same kind of diet? Because you're putting that same kind of energy and vibration in the atmosphere. You can keep a conservative dress. You don't have to switch your zip codes to change your vibration and your perspective. Your perspective and your mindset will force the universe to bend to your will. But if you still stand at a low level of mindset and thinking and behavior, it doesn't matter if you relocate, you take that with you, you're going to attract the same kind of dudes in this zip code.
So then let's talk to the women who don't dress like that, who are still attracting that. I would say to them that you're attracting what you've grew up with.
I get what you're saying. Go ahead and take it there.
You're attracting what you grew up with. You're attracting what you've seen. You're attracting, if you grew up with a father who wasn't really there, then you're going to attract men to give them the pass to say, okay, you don't got to be here all the time. Just as long as you text me and tell me where you at, you know, you dealing with the okie doke. If you dealt with a father that was abusive and verbally abusive and loud and then you're going to attract that kind of man. And then you kind of okaying it like, well, he did it this time and he won't do it next time. And you know what I mean? So, and you're not even dressing or doing half of the things that we're talking about. So sometimes you got to break the generational curse. You got to break that generational curse off your life and understand that you don't have to be with what you've seen growing up. And it's not even to down your parents, because a lot of them, we grew up in times they just didn't know. We grew up in time, like, you know, just sitting and listening to my mother talk, or just sitting and listening. If my father was telling me some things, you know, I heard a lot of stuff from them that they didn't see with their parents and their parents didn't see. But times were harder back then. That was back in the day when stuff was still going on that we don't have to deal with. And so those are generational curses, and you have to dig down and break that thing down from the root and understand that I might be going after things that's not for me. that's keeping me in this situation, that's keeping me bound, that's keeping me feeling like I'm insecure, I'm not pretty enough, and I can allow him to go do this and go do that. And then, if I'm sensing something, I want to talk about it, I can't talk about it, because if I bring it up to him, then the first thing he's going to do is call me out or call me insecure. It's not that I'm insecure. It's that I'm seeing certain things that I've seen, whether it was with you or somebody else, and I'm reacting off of it, I'm calling it out, but now you're making me feel afraid that I can't say anything and I got to tiptoe because it's not good for the man. So then the woman is constantly dumbing herself down. She's constantly making herself feel insecure because she's dealing with somebody that's not building up her security. So sometimes you got to look in the mirror and realize a lot of those things and break the generational curses, because a lot of the women that are watching right now may feel like, hey, I'm in my 40s, my 50s, my 60s. I'm doing all the right things. I ain't out here doing my own strip club. I know some young people on here, but I don't do that. So what's my problem? Sometimes we got to dig deep and back to the root. We're looking for the wrong things all because of what we've seen growing up, and we feel like that's the way it's supposed to be. No, it's not. You got to break the generational curse so that you can prepare your daughter and her daughter and her daughter to see that it wasn't really supposed to be that way.
Facts. And before I jump on this last thing, then we're going to open it up, I want to say that you are in control of who you select. Regardless of the outcome, you had control at the beginning of the selection process. Don't try to fall in love with a girl at the strip club, then get mad when she walking around in booty shorts all day. Don't try to marry a dude who you know sell dope and feel like he going to have a thug mentality, but he going to be a gentleman to you. You can't change people. People are going to be who they are. They don't change, they evolve. So you have to be careful that you set a certain standard for yourself. And I'll close with this. Men are only going to raise themselves up to the standard you set. If you set the bar here like you've always done, there's just certain things I know I'm not going to get away with you. You set a bar. But if women have a low bar, then cats will just do the limbo and they'll meet you there. You got to set the bar. If he's not willing to climb and do those pull-ups, let him go and be okay being alone in that season. Don't lower your bar just because he can't do the pull-up. And that goes for dudes as well. So in closing, before we open it up, this I thought it just dropped on me. I thought it was dope. If you could write a letter and send it back in time to the single you, what would be some of the contents in that letter? If you was the woman you are now, and I think I know you're an amazing, powerful force.
Yeah.
What if you could go and send a letter back to yourself in 2004, the moment you won? I'm just gonna pick that instance. What would you write to her?
Well, I had somebody ask me this question one time. I think it was on TV, and I ain't having like a whole lot of time to go into it. So my first thing was, job well done, young lady, job well done. And the reason why I said that is because a lot of the people that you know, I know, Dorikas may know, Sean Nice may know, and some people that listen, a lot of people don't make it a lot of, out of certain situations, relationships, whatever the case may be. But if it would be me now talking to the young girl, I would still say job well done. I would say, girl, what was you thinking on some of those things that you did? But I would also end it with job well done, because you figured your way out. You didn't just fall down and not get back up. You didn't just adapt to whatever situation that you was in and say, I'm going to stay here. I never was the type to just go, I had my first apartment when I was 17? Yeah. In Farmington. Whoo! My rent was $14. Okay, they had Cricket back then, so I had a little Cricket phone.
A little Cricket phone with the little dollar bill cover on it.
I had a little pink Cricket phone and light up when you call. You know what I mean? So I thought I was good and grown. You know what I mean? But in that process and in that time, oh my God, I hit so many. Oh my God, right? Yeah. And then from there it was Idol, and then from there it was all the rest of the stuff. So I have to say kudos to you. Job well done. I have to pat myself on the back because I didn't just stay there. You know what I mean? I didn't just stay in a place where I was like, okay, this is where I'm at. I'm in Farmers, my rent $15, $17. You know what I mean? I'm gonna just stay in here. We're gonna drink 40s all day, smoke a Lucy, get a Lucy. Woo-hoo. Because I was there at the time. We put the babies in the strollers and go down the street and get loosies. I thought I was like, come on.
Yeah.
Grown, drinking 40s. You know what I mean? Those were the days.
Oh, E, what you
But
mean?
I'm 36 right now, and I'm still not putting babies in the strollers and walking down to the store and getting loosies.
Yeah.
And I ain't saying nothing's wrong with that,
Right.
but I am saying that there's more to life. So I'm proud of myself for fighting my way through every bad relationship, every bad business. You know what I mean? And I can stand here today to say I'm stronger than I've ever been before, and I have got some scars on me. But I rise, still I rise. Even today, when I become 38, 39, 40, 45, I will be sitting here and I'll be saying, let me tell you about what happened to me at 36, because that's what happens. That's life. It was written way before we were here. It was written in the Bible days. You're going to go through things, right?
If you're lucky enough.
And kudos that I made it. I was lucky enough to make it to sit here, from having a child at 17 years old to going through all kind of crazy relationships, to winning Idol at 19, to going through way more stuff after that was on another level that everybody can see on every magazine, every news station, every radio station. Everybody was talking about it. I couldn't go nowhere where they didn't know what I was going through, and I still made it, and I'm still here, and I'm still good. So kudos, little girl. You did it.
You better talk to her. Straight up. Somebody in their house right now done shot her and passed out. Got food on the stove. Wake mama up. Wake mama up. Yeah, I like that. That's dope. That's dope. When I came up with the question, I was just sitting there again reflecting on my life, and you know, time is ticking. I don't want to get into too much of it. We'll have an opportunity for that one day. Yeah. But I wrote something real stupid short that I would have said to myself, and that I hope a lot of men, any men that are watching, because we do see y'all tune in. We see the data. Y'all tune in. This is what I would have penned to myself. Know that you will have a daughter one day, and be mindful to treat women with the same energy that you desire for your princess. Know that men are valuable and should treat their bodies just as sacred as women are trained to do, because soul ties are painfully hard to break. And last, know that a side piece is just like cutting a side deal in business. If it were not for the attractiveness of the original contract, there would be no desire for another company to come and try to undercut. Honor the things that shape and define you as the man you really are, and don't cast your pearls or your genitals before swine. That's what I would say to the young Kendall with his ignorant self. And I hope men, young men, older men, take heed to that and understand that our women, especially our black women, are precious. They are gifts. They are jewels. They house, contain, carry, birth, raise, nurture our destinies, our calling, and our hope. And I'm glad I found mine, because it's wild out there. It's wild out there for singles. It's a murky game. Trying to catch a fish, and there's more sharks. It's tough out there. You don't even know what you're getting sometimes. But when you are sincere in your heart, and you come from a genuine place, and you send that vibration every day, stop talking about what you don't want to have and start speaking what you do want to have. Stop talking about what the last dude did and what you don't want to deal with, and offset it with what you do want and what you do expect. You can shift the atmosphere, and he'll make his way to you.
And I know we gotta go, but I want to just tap into the living single, because Smell Like a Lady, when she typed that in and was like, talk to the single people who are looking for love but are having doubts right now. I hope that everything that we talked about, because we can't tap into too much because we only get an hour, but I hope that you realize also that sometimes God it's just not the time.
But patience is what you do while
you
wait.
I like
Patience
that.
is what you do while you wait. So while we had not found each other, you were building your name, building your brand, cleaning up house, getting your affairs in order. I was doing the same thing.
I remember we both was on the kick of like, listen, after the fast, I was like, I'm good. I want to be single. Like, I'm straight. I did, and he did too. He came in the grave with Elijah and was like, yeah, I want a girl right now. I want. So it happens in the time where you're working on yourself and you're so busy in love with yourself that you're not thinking about, okay, is the next person I'm about to meet at the grocery store, at the restaurant, it's this the one.
When you ain't looking for
It's
it.
when you're not looking for it, and it's when you are sitting in a place where God feels like now you're ready. my good and faithful servant. Now you're ready, daughter. Now you're ready, son. Because I was able to cleanse all that stuff out. And now I can bless you with what I've been preparing for you the whole time.
Looking will get you hurt when there's only one you're supposed to see. It's a difference between looking and seeing. Yeah. I only see you. I can't help what I look at. Somebody walk down the street, something flash on the screen, whatever.
Don't look. I swear to God, I'm taking all your eyes. You got pretty eyes. Do you want them to go?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
You know what I mean? No cyclopses over here.
I'm just playing. I'm just playing.
I know you are.
Yeah.
But I know you ain't. Nah, not with no scorpants on.
Stop.
Man, they fly though. All right, let's open it up. We got a little bit more time, and I'll flirt with you all night long.
Stop.
No. I only married you to flirt with you. This is part of the deal.
Zarikas. Why we didn't give Darius mine? Because my husband's finna get frisky. Okay. Frisky.
So I know y'all was talking a lot about the way you look, the way people dress. Can we address the pressure? A lot of single people have pressure. When I talk about pressure, I'm talking about most people don't really know what they're doing. They just know the reaction that they're trying to get. And so a lot of pressure from both sexes are... I'm giving an example. So a lot of women dress a certain way because if you dress classy, let's just say this: if you dress classy or whatever, you don't get the same reaction as this other female that's dressing a little more sexy.
I disagree.
And true, and you might disagree, but the reality of it all is that because I saw a lot of questions on here, and people were saying that do men put pressure on women because you see the way that a man look at a woman that is dressed sexier, but and from a single standpoint, there's a lot of pressure when you're dealing with social media, when you're dealing with going out and the pressure. Can we address the pressure?
And I think I hit it earlier. Just because he's looking at her, I helped you understand what he's thinking about.
Right.
So when he's looking at her and you want him to look at her, you the way he look at her, do you also want the pain that's going to come behind that? Do you also want the heartache and the disrespect and the STD and the abuse that's going to come with that look? Or do you trust that if you walk and stay true to your identity, the one that will compliment you and he will see your beauty beyond your fabric? Yes. So that way you don't have to change the cloth of who you are.
Because all you're going to get is that hour, 2 hour, 3 hour, right? So it's going to look good. He's going to be like, God almighty. She don't know what she getting. You know what you want, but you don't know what you're getting. Yes, you feel like if you don't have on a certain outfit, then the men have made you think they don't pay you no attention, but they're going to give you that attention. The one that they really going to sit back and go home to and be like, Ma, she's solid. When they get something different. I will never forget, we was talking to Sean Nice, and Sean Nice, I hope I'm not putting you on blast, but I hope you can tell. Sean Nice was like, yo, my mama, my cousins, my sisters, my brothers, and everybody tell I would never get married. But what was it you was kind of telling us, like when you found the one, you was like, she was smart, she was beautiful, and what did you do? You was like, I want to what? I want to marry her, because she gave you a challenge, she gave you something different, correct? Now at the time she could have showed up with some booty shorts on and all this out. You would have been like, good, right? Because you're a man. You are a man. It's like putting a doggone peach cobbler on a plate and you be like, godly, I'm finna eat that. I don't even need no ice cream. But the thing is you've got to challenge yourself to step outside of what 2020 have made us feel like. If I'm not showing this and if I'm not doing this, then he's probably not going to give me the attention and that like or be into me, because he's going to give you that attention, but it's only going to last for that night. Because you'll get home and the next morning you're going to be like, well, wait, he didn't call me. I had on the right thing. I said the right stuff. I licked my lips. I bent over when I got to use the bathroom. But he already went home, and even if you didn't go home with him, he can mentally do what he need to do. And he's out. Men want to chase. They want a chase and they want something different. And those are the ones that be like, I'm finna marry her because she's solid and it's different. I can catch any loose booty anywhere I want to go. That's loose. I can get that. But who ain't going to just pass it up to me? And I don't know what her legs look like at first. I don't know what her this look like. All I know is what coming out of her mouth and how she's posturing and how she's carrying herself. And you challenge the man they want to challenge. Right?
Okay. So speaking of look like, do you feel like having a type plays a part in why a lot of people are single?
telling you, you know what? And I'm gonna pick on myself. Let me do the men, and I'm just hope the women get something from it. I used to choose a woman based off how I felt it was gonna make me look. Now I'm supposed to be choosing her based on how she looked. But if she looked like this, built like this, moved like that, drive like this, then it's gonna enhance how I feel about myself. And so what happened again, that season of process, as my identity began to change and I started coming into more of who I am, I stopped identifying myself by who was on my arm, and then they got circumcised out my life because they were with me for the wrong reasons. And as I began to evolve and my eyes started to open and I become more, less and less. And now I'm just looking for a dumb argument to break out so I can have an excuse to cut you off.
Okay. And then for me, I was always, and don't get me wrong, like I thought my daddy was Superman to me, and my daddy was always tall, dark skinned, with these waves in his hair, and my daddy dressed a certain way. He kept himself smelling good, and so I always looked for my daddy. Like I was like, every man I want to date, he gotta look like my dad. Now there was one or two in my young days. I was like, he's not my daddy. But and that's not saying there's anything wrong with that. So I'm just saying, like, look at my husband. He's high yellow, bald head. Like, it wasn't what I was going after, but he fine. Now, don't get me wrong. And I know you know it. Some of you women be real disrespectful, so y'all be so disrespectful. Pipe down. Get it together. Put some oil on it. Pray about it. But he looked good. But I always growing up was like, I want a man that looked just like my daddy. So every guy that I tried to date had to be, and don't get me wrong, I always tell you still, I'll be like, the traits that you have about my father is when you get suited and booted and every day he's clean cut, he shower, he smell good. And you remind me of my dad in a lot of ways, but it's just totally different from what I on my list. You know what I mean? So sometimes you got to detour from your list. Because you may end with somebody shorter, you may end up with, you be like, what? But love, okay. No, go ahead. That was it.
I implore upon you women, please, make sure your list is balanced with physical stuff with also character-based virtues. Because I want to have this much money. I want to make sure he don't have no kids. He got to be at least 6'3". But does he have to be sold out to God? Not go to church. Is he sold out to God? Is he a man of good character? Yeah. Is he striving for something? Is he honest about his mistakes? Yeah. Is he humble? Does he respect his mother? Yeah. Does he have a heart of a servant? Because what you're going to end up with is you're going to get smacked across your head in the back of a Rolls Royce. And then you're really going to see stars.
You're preaching. Wait. Here's the other thing, too. We got to stop trying to feel like I got to find somebody with a credit score like this, like that. It's 2020. No, but check it out. It's COVID. It's 2020. Everybody in the world have been through some stuff.
Now I just want somebody ain't got no cough, no shakes.
You're stupid. No, but real talk. Now it's not about. It's like you gotta get your spiritual eyes, ladies. TD Jakes was just talking about something Sunday. He was like, "Yo, learn how to dance in the desert." And he was like, it started with the women. They started praising and worshiping God and dancing, and then all the men kind of fell into play. You know what I mean? You gotta learn how to get with God, reading in your books, meditating, figuring out some things about yourself, and then put on your spiritual eyes. Because when you put on your spiritual eyes, then you're gonna be able to see things that most people can't see in a person. That's real talk. I know some girls right now that are in love, happily married. Men treat them real good, and that person may be locked up, or that person may be in another country, or that person may be, and other people be like, how can you be with? But it's like, well, what, aren't you with somebody who just cheated on you in the same house with you? It was last week. What's the difference? We got to stop being so judgmental and trying to find things that don't exist anymore. Because we live in a world where they try to keep us bounded. They try to keep us down. And we just got to keep coming back up because we're strong people. You can't meet somebody and be like, what's your credit score? Oh, no, never mind. Because then what you going to do when they turn around and say, what's your credit score? You be like, well, it ain't that good, but I can do the same thing.
Or whatever happened to not having anything and still being able to be happy. Like
pretty.
We become so superficial, and we're all seeking validation, and we're all insecure, and we're all hiding behind these layer of filters. Take some time to figure out who you are without your makeup and your filter. Figure out who you are and do what makes you happy. Stop trying to be with or where you think other people are going to receive you. Your happy might not be supported by everybody, but you're happy. You're content. You're being made whole. So stop trying to please anything other than what's good for your life.
It goes back to what I was talking about with perfection. Every day we want to wake up with perfection, 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 perfection. It doesn't exist. So,
Perfection is a journey, it's not a destination.
yeah.
Okay, so I say this question for last on purpose. And this is probably the most asked question. And this actually took me back down memory lane. And I know this was probably more the ladies asking this, but the answer from both of y'all will be really good. Okay. What happens when you get to the point where you just feel like there's no one for me? When you just feel like you're just never going to find love. And I remember me and you, Fantasia, we used to have these conversations when you would come off the stage. I know when Kendall asked you about some of the lowest moments of being single. And I know, like, if I had to answer that question from your perspective or from my perspective about you, was that singing to lovers, because it was so many times that you would go out there and you would give a good show, you would sing to lovers in happy places, and then we would come back to the room and, you know, we would sit and talk, and then, you know, eventually I would leave, you know, by yourself. And I know so many times I wanted you to have love because I knew that the moment you found love, I knew that you were going to fly. And so many nights I just felt awkward just leaving after, you know, we've done so many shows, Valentine shows and love shows and the concerts and people there with lovers, and you sing about love, and then you get to, you know, go back, you know, by yourself. And so I know just looking at the questions, and so many people are wondering, like, is it over? Will I ever find love? And I know we talked about that so many times.
So, now, thanks, Darius.
Wow.
It's funny, though, that you say that, because if you think about it, the good Lord works in mysterious ways. We serve a God that you be like, yo, I didn't even think about it like that, God. It was funny, but I didn't look at it like that because it hurt. When I opened my mouth, love flowed. But every song that I sang from Idol was heartbreak. Free yourself, bittersweet. It's all good, baby mama. If you really, really look at my roster, they're not love songs, but love exuded from me. Whether I met somebody in meet and greet, whether I would speak to them on stage or shake their hand or love them, I want to hug them. Couples would come, not like how we have them now, but people would come for like healing. Like, I just lost a child, I just lost this, and I was like, okay, what is this thing? So it was something that God always had for me. But I was so young at the time, and me and you were so fresh, D. We've been rocking for a long time now, that it was something that I couldn't see, but I was always manifesting it every time I opened my mouth. And every time I did a show, but I couldn't see that. And that was very hard for me. It wasn't until I came to the point of after midnight of saying, I'm not going to focus anymore or wake up every morning and try to figure this thing out. I'm going to let God be God and finally let him arrest me and let him work on me and let him show me what he has for me. Because there were plenty of times I would cry. There were plenty of times Darius would just get in the bed with me and we just talk, because I was lonely as shit. I was there for everybody. I was there for the whole crowd. I was there for the whole band. I was there for all my singers. I was there for all my family. But then I used to ask him, I used to be like, yo, do you know how it feels to feel like everybody can see you, but you're in a bubble and you just kind of knocking like, yo, let me out? And that's how I felt. So it wasn't until I let God be God and let God just do it. Because at that time, at that point, I was just like, yo, I don't got it. I don't know what to do. I'm just going to keep freeing myself and just keep bittersweeting it. And have you ever needed someone so bad? And I'm just going to let God do what he need to do. And it was at that time. And then shortly after, that's when I met you. But that took a long time. Darius been with me for years. We've been doing this for a long time. So I just never thought. I was like, yo, I'm never going to. What I told you. I said I was never going to find love. So I think that it was, if you look at it spiritually, I was singing certain songs, but every time I opened my mouth and performed, no matter what move, no matter what jig we did, it was all love, just energy, just love, love, love. and I was putting it out there, and I didn't lose that love. I didn't lose a love for music. I didn't lose a love for the stage and the love for the people, and the fact that I felt like I was a healer through my vocals. So I still had a big piece of love, but I just didn't have that one on that love. That yeah. What'd you say? Self-love. And so it wasn't until after midnight. Yeah.
This how he be talking to us too. Like we go through stuff. Like,
I know the Ricans have me like,
that's dope.
Well, the thing is that we've been through so much together, and I've seen her going through the dating process, and she can tell you, like, I've never been involved with anybody she dated. Like, everybody just felt like I just did not like them. And I remember when she told me about you, and I was preparing her. We was getting ready, and we was role playing and stuff, getting ready for the date. And I remember when y'all went out on a date, and then I met you, and I knew we was like brothers, just like right off. And I remember when she told me she was going to marry you, and I talked to her, and I was like, I think you should wait. And she told me this. She said, tell me don't do it. And I said, as much as I want to tell you that, God is not telling me to tell you that. Wow. And so seeing her happy, like, it even allowed me to see love differently. You know what I mean? Because when I was young, I saw my mother be so strong all the time. I saw my mother just being an angry black woman. That's what I saw. And she created a young her in me. And so for so long, I've had to fight with love because my mom taught me to be strong, to keep moving on, to don't fight for love, because my mom was battling with anger issues from my dad. Yeah. And so I didn't realize as an adult that I'm dealing with a lot of stuff that's not really truly who I am. This is what I've been taught by my mom. And so now I'm not even experiencing love for who I really am. It's a learned behavior. And so to see you grow past a lot of things, like to see Kendall come in your life, like, no matter what nobody say, like it's real, it's beautiful. Everybody has ups and downs. Everybody goes through. It's so easy for everybody to get on social media and type and click, and if it's 4, somebody got to correct you and say it's 3. That stuff is easy, but living it is another thing. It's different. So to see you happy, and to see you growing, and to see you prosperous, and to see y'all together, like, that's great even for me to see, because it's hard to duplicate or to be something that you've never seen. Mm-hmm. So I commend y'all. I commend y'all. Just seeing this is beautiful.
And the
and that people is that, and for that reason is why we have 4 microphones. I'm not going to touch that, water that down. That needs to stand on its own. We're going to pray and close out like we normally do. And
he almost took my lashes off.
Wow.
Yeah, I got on lashes tonight.
If I felt responsible or accountable this morning, I definitely know I can't drop the ball. But you've been worth every single challenge, man. Every single drop of this experience. All right. Father, we know you were here tonight, because you guided us through different terrains of singleness and union, and allowed us to go back and look at things that used to be terrifying and hard to deal with. But now we realize you truly are a man of your word, and you made him our footstool, and we've overcome. But tonight we just want to extend any anointing and favor that we have to those who are broken, who are lonely, who are lost, who are confused, who are sitting in darkness. First, that they will not penalize you for what a man or a woman has done, because you are faithful. You don't cheat. You don't steal. You're not like man that you would lie. So first and foremost, that you are not penalized. And with that understanding, they can open themselves up to all the possibilities that come with your kingdom. Allow them to see who they are in your eyes. Let them look for your eyes and your glare and your stare and your glance from across the room before we look for validation in man. Let us not get so caught up that we are seeking the creation more than the creator. But when we're in harmony with the creator, the creation will manifest on its own. We love you. We thank you for this opportunity. We pray that every single man and woman is blessed, whether they are hurting or whether they are sound. And if they are sound, be a rock for somebody else that is hurting. That is our mission. We love you, we honor, and we praise you. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Phew. Oh my God, that was a good one. We only have an hour, so we hope we could tap into as much as we can. I just took my shoes off. Sorry, everybody. But I will say to every single person out there, wait on God. Focus on yourself, and it will happen. And I guess we'll do the same thing next week. Submit, some of the stuff you want to talk about. Thank you. Smell like a lady. At Smell Like a Lady. We appreciate you. Again, I want to thank Dial Me Up Bree for coming over and doing my lash, and the Top Joy Boutique. And I know Bree has next Tuesday I'll talk about her jewelry line because it's so pretty. And I guess we're gonna end it like that. We're gonna let Sean Nice.
You're now rocking with the
rock
best.
out. God bless
DJ
you guys.
Sean Nice,
And we love you. Thank you, Sean Nice. Thank you, Kendall Taylor.